So this girl is supposed to be your friend. You leaned on her in the villa. She always had your back. Y'all get out of the villa. You're hit with the real world as soon as you hit the airport in Fiji. And Alandria starts seeing all the racism, all the bigotry, all the hatred, all the just stupidity that's being shuffled her way because she's black. By your fans. By your fans. Your fans, Huda, yours. She asked you to make a simple post condemning, telling your fans, relax, telling your fans to calm down. But you didn't do that because you didn't know what to say. I experienced racism too. Whataboutism is killing the world. Your friend asked you to do something for her. You couldn't do that though. Huda is a trash ass person. If you don't like what I'ma say, click off now because it's about to get real. What's up, everybody? Welcome and welcome back to the channel. I'm Tammy. This is TammyTalks. We are here at 5 o'clock in the morning so we can talk Love Island USA Season 7, The Reunion. Let me make sure my button is working.
You just hate Huda.
Okay.
You're
okay.
a Huda hater.
You're a Huda hater. And then I think we had...
You're biased.
Yeah. Okay, so we know what's going to happen, all right? Because I know how y'all get down in the comments. Before we get started, please do me a favor. If you are here for the first time or the 10th and you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please do me a favor if you enjoy this particular piece of content. If you enjoy me, hit that subscribe button, thumbs up the video, and then leave your comments down below. I do have recaps on Love is Blind UK, so make sure you guys check those out. I will be back for Love Island Games on September 16th, so make sure you're subscribed, notification bell, all that type of stuff. So let's talk the reunion. First, everybody looked amazing. Everybody looked good. Everybody did. The only thing that I really didn't like was Huda's updo. I saw the video of the celebrity stylist doing her hair, and I think if he would have just left her hair in like the soft waves that she had, it would have looked better. Like her updo just gave like I'm going to like a black tie event. I didn't like that, but everything else, I think everybody looked great. Okay. The reunion was too long. I think it was too long, and a lot of it is because they were dragging out certain conversations and scenes that it just didn't matter. Just didn't matter. But let's talk about it, all right? So we start off with the final four, and they were on stage first. So that is Nick and Alandria, Brian and Amaya, Pepe and Iris, and then Huda and Chris, okay? So Huda says she's coming with all good vibes. I said, oh, really? Because your interview was negative as fuck. But I guess when you're not the one that's been, on the receiving end of all this bullshit because of somebody else's interview, I guess I would be cool too. Okay. So they start off by showing a package of everyone's love story. And when you look at everybody's love story, it shows you everything that was wrong with this season. It shows you everything that was wrong with this season. These love stories lasted like 3 episodes. There wasn't even a lot of good footage to show. We start with Amaya and Brian. They say that the distance isn't bad. It's a 35-minute flight between Boston and New York. And they talk about Brian's video of him partying with the women. I guess he was like pouring liquor in other women's mouths, whatever. Brian said he just had a lapse of judgment, okay? And people are throwing hate my way. Aren't y'all broken up now? Or at least unfollowing each other? Amaya said that she would not be with somebody that doesn't respect her. And if they are still together, it is a healthy relationship. So I'm assuming it got unhealthy yesterday because she unfollowed him. Chris said, I was there and he ain't do shit. I ain't say nothing. He ain't do nothing. You're not going to dime your friend out. I think whatever they said Brian did, he did that shit. Pepe and Iris are now exclusive as of the taping of the reunion. They have since unfollowed each other, and I believe there were allegations that he cheated on her. But hey, you know. So they said that they just have different ideas of dating, and that's why they are not. Uh, Exclusive dating, girlfriend, boyfriend is subjective to who you're talking to and who you ask. And I think it's subjective by age as well. But okay. Ari asks if Iris wants to be Pepe's girlfriend, and Pepe looked like he was about to say, "Girl, don't say that." But okay. Iris said that she would love, or excuse me, Iris said that she met up with TJ because she wanted closure, nothing more, nothing less. Huda and Chris. Andy asked about the final date and when the lady sang Moon River while they were breaking up. Huda said, "I thought it was my sister." Shut up. No, you didn't. Huda then said that seeing Chris is fine. Chris said seeing Huda is weird. Chris said that, his mom, now after seeing how things have been played out, said that, things worked out the way that they were supposed to. Your mama was skinning and grinning all up in Huda's face when she thought you were going to win and get the bag. I don't care what your mama has to say now. Your mama wasn't being real. And I'm sure that production, my production more than likely told these people's families, don't come out there with no bullshit, keep it cute. But still. Andy asked Huda about Chris having a wandering eye. These are Huda's words, that Chris had a wandering eye. Huda said, "I'm not angry about it. We just want a good match." Because Huda deflected and circled around every answer. Every single question, Huda didn't answer anything. Chris said he does not respect what Huda has been saying about him in the press. Huda looked shocked. You can see those eyes starting to turn pink. She's ready to turn on the waterworks, okay? Because you remember, Huda was bullied. So Huda has to get the waterworks ready because she was bullied, right? Chris said that they would not be friends. He doesn't respect how she handled herself in that interview. The interview that he's referring to is the Call Me Daddy. Is that the podcast? Call Me Daddy with Alex Cooper, where Huda went on there and basically said that she's queen and all her peasants did not kiss her royal ass. That's what the interview was about. Huda went on there and perpetuated the hate that Shelly and Alandria faced. Huda went on there, she gave a very vague, "Stop the violence. Stop the bullying." But she did not specifically clear up that she wasn't saying that Shelly and Alandria bullied her. But I was with Shelly. Come to find out during a reunion, Huda felt that Shelly bullied her. Again, you're perpetuating some bullshit that did not happen because you don't want to take accountability for the fucked up individual that you are. Chris said that he does not allow people to talk to him like that in his life, and so he ain't gonna rock with her no more. He said that Huda had a month to apologize after the reunion or after that interview, but she waited until a few days ago to reach out, and he knew what type of time that was. We see this all the time with reality TV, right? Somebody does something in an interview on social media, whatever the case, they wait until the day or two before the reunion to clear it up so that you won't come on the reunion and blast them. Huda said that she saw hatred for her on her For You page, and she just wanted to address this with Chris. But, I wanted to let you know that I'm grateful for our time in the villa. You had my back when nobody else wanted me. You let me, bring you back from Casa, even though I kind of forced myself on you, but I didn't like what I saw about you. I'm a mom, and I take stuff like this serious. And I just wanted to let you know I'm sorry. That's all. Huda says she cannot speak about her relationships out of the villa because of Netflix. Said that for legal reasons, she can't talk about the fact that she has been seen with Louis all up and through because Louis was on this past season of Perfect Match, which then in turn ruined the ending of the show. No, I didn't recap, but which ruined the ending of the show because they were all up and through red carpets and on streams together and all this other type of stuff. Huda, you are not in a contract with Netflix, or are you? Huda could have because like all she did was confirm, yes, I'm dating Louis. Or excuse me, yes, I'm in a PR relationship with Louis because I need some attention because I'm not in a relationship from Love Island to get attention for. If Louis cannot talk about his relationship, that makes sense. All Huda had to say was, yeah, I've been dating here and there. But to say that you cannot talk about your relationship because of legal reasons with Netflix confirms that you are with Louis. Like she's just a stupid ass. Just a stupid ass
You
person.
Just hate Huda.
Oh my God.
You're a Huda
Just
hater.
Lord. We then talked to Nick and Alandria. This is a PR relationship. And I know y'all are gonna hate me if I say that. This is PR. It's given PR. They didn't even really talk about their relationship. It is PR. They're using this relationship, this facade of a relationship, because y'all yucked them up and told them they were the best thing since sliced bread. Oh my. And they're getting brand deals and stuff out of it. Kudos for them, but it's not a real relationship. This is another couple that said, I think they're exclusive, but they're not in a relationship. But y'all are traveling the world. Lord, y'all are traveling the world together. Alandria said that the journey with Nick was worth the wait. Nick does not feel that he owes Sierra a conversation. I low-key think he does. I don't think he has to have a conversation with her explaining why he moved on with Alandria, but I think a conversation does need to happen because this is somebody that you were closed off with. This is somebody that you were sleeping with. I understand, yeah, Sierra did some fucked up shit. We know why she's not there, but I do think that Nick does owe Sierra a conversation. I do. And then you're mad about some of there's this thing with this cast that I didn't quite understand. Y'all are so mad about what everybody else is doing on social media when y'all are doing the same stuff yourself. It's interesting. Very interesting. So Shelly, Ace, Taylor, and Clark come out, and Andy asks them about the curse that happened with being exclusive. Remember, it was a running joke that when you became exclusive in the villa, you were voted off like the next episode. So Clark said it's different being in Taylor's world, but it wasn't hard to fit in with his family. So she rode a horse. Okay. Taylor said that he was truly torn between Clark and Alandria. I do not believe that. I think that the moment that Taylor saw Clark, he knew that he was going to recouple with Clark. He knew that. Alandria said that initially she thought that he was, very torn. In that moment, she thought he was. But then after hearing things outside of the villa, probably after watching the show back, it just made her think differently. Because we all know, Taylor said that he was not physically attracted to Alandria. And she was like, you made it seem like I was chasing you. I don't want to be with someone that is trying to grow to be attracted to me. Andy asked, don't you think you owe Alandria an apology? Taylor said that he was waiting for the right moment. Taylor's always waiting for the right fucking moment, which means that you wait until somebody takes you and them 7 locks that you have and forces you to make an apology. And then the apology was so horrific. Oh my God, you my dog, and we had a good time and everything. Gary, you my dog, and you're gonna always be my dog. I said, nigga, what the fuck? Alandria looked at the camera like this was an episode of The Office. Oh my God. We talked to Shelly and Ace. Shelly said that she felt that this was a game of popularity with the fan base. and they were voting for individual or couples, not or something the way she phrased it. And Austin said, "Yeah, this is the precedent that y'all set. This is the precedent that Ace and Shelly both said." And they tried to disagree, but it's facts though. Ace and Shelly both had this mindset, mainly Ace influencing Shelly, right? Ace had this mindset that you had to come in and date a bunch of people and explore before you could finally be in a couple, because that's the Love Island way, and that's really not. And I hate that they kept trying to push that narrative when, if we're going to be 1000%, Ace didn't explore. Ace didn't date around. He didn't. Ace picked Amaya so that it looked as if he was exploring, but he wasn't honestly exploring her. Just because Ace would have a one-off conversation every time a new bombshell came into the villa, that's not exploring. The moment that Ace and Shelly saw that the other was in that villa, they knew they were going to end up with each other. They knew they were going to pick each other. And so instead of them getting together from jump, letting us see a journey with them so that more people would believe in their relationship, y'all tried to start this narrative, this bullshit strategy that you have to date around. We want everybody to date around. And it honestly didn't make sense. It just didn't make a lick of sense. So Andy said, "Well, okay, let's clear up how long y'all have known each other." They said they met in New York, they exchanged socials, and then they were just on each other's social media. Andy said, "Well, you've been commenting on her post going back to 2022. Shelly was like, "We just met last year though." So, I mean, it is very possible that Ace just went back. Y'all know we have all had a guy be on our social media that we met, and he's scrolling through and he's liking old pictures. That could be the case. Ace said that he comments and shows love to everyone. You be commenting on Huda stuff. You be telling Huda how much you like her pictures. You be giving her fire emojis. So Shelly said that, she was called a mean girl from the Stand On Business Challenge and the Heart Rate Challenge, and I have never felt that way. I watched so many other content creators that were calling Shelly and Alandria mean girls from the Stand On Business Challenge, that were saying that, it was a little mean. It wasn't. It wasn't. The essence of the challenge was to stand on business and say what's what. And truth be told, if Alandria and Shelly were a different hue, they would not have been called mean girls from what they did in that challenge. They wouldn't have been. Alandria said that that's bull, and she would never have surrounded herself with fake people. Nick is fake. Nick seems so performative. I feel like everything that Nick did this reunion was performative. Nick just unfollowed Huda like last night after the reunion aired. Why are you just now unfollowing her when your girl that you're so in love with unfollowed her after the Call Me Daddy interview? I'm sure y'all pillow talked about it at some point, I guess. Ace and Shelly are still exclusive. Because Ace is waiting on the perfect moment to ask her to be his girlfriend. To me, that's performative. And Ace claims that Shelly is going to be his first and last girlfriend. If you love her and you're in love with her and you know that you ultimately want to marry her, why do you have to wait for the right moment? Ask her to be your girlfriend. Because the theatrics and all that type of stuff is for you, Ace, not for her. It's for you, not for her. So then Austin, TJ, and Andrina come out, and the other bombshells and the Casa people come on out, sans Jeremiah. The way they had Jeremiah sitting back there all damn day to do nothing. Austin said that he has subtracted some people from his body count. Coco said that Alandria was standoffish. Alandria said, "Yeah, because I didn't know y'all asses in there," which are facts. Alandria said, "I didn't know any of y'all. I had just gotten fake dumped from the villa. I come back, I see that my connection is booed up with somebody else. Yeah, I mean, but I wasn't rude to y'all. Now, y'all are gonna hate me for this. I personally, I think Alandria did a little too much for Coco. I do, and this is why. Coco was trying to apologize to you. Coco was trying to apologize to you. You're mad at Coco because Coco said in the interview that you were calling Taylor my man, my man, my man. You were. You were. You were. Were you saying it directly to the other girls like that? No, but Coco made a good point. You were going around taking pictures and kissing them, putting them in the thing. Like that is the vibe you were giving. I think the only reason that Alandria feels a way about that is because she now knows that Taylor really wasn't her man. I think Alandria was like low key embarrassed about that, and the fact that Coco kind of brought it up made her feel some kind of way. Coco said, I wasn't coming for you. Why would, why? I don't understand why Alandria would be mad about that. That's just me. Alandria said that she wished that Coco would have spoken about her true character. Now, I will say this. Y'all know that these interviews are chopped and screwed by what's put out. Y'all just got off of a reality show that we know is chopped and screwed about what they put out. Right? Alandria said that Shelly said, well, Coco, you were hurting negative comments about me and Alandria. Now, Coco, I ain't got nothing for you there, sis. You were being messy. You were being messy, and I don't understand why. Shelly said that multiple people played into the narrative that they were mean girls and that they were negative. And that's true. That's true. For absolutely no reason. We didn't see Shelly be mean to anybody on that show. We didn't see Alandria be mean to anybody on that show. Coco said, girl, I sent you a DM. Alandria said I wasn't fucking with it because the apology should be just as loud as the disrespect. I'll say this. I 1000% believe in that narrative as well. But I also believe that if somebody is reaching out to you, and I said this about Beyond the Villa too with Janae and what's his face? What's his name? Connor. If somebody is reaching out to you in private, right, to apologize, you can accept it and then have a conversation with them about apologizing to you publicly. So if Coco reached out to you and sent you a DM trying to clear things up, you could have accepted it, Alandria, and then said, girl, and on the reunion, I'm going to need you to apologize as loud as you disrespected me. I kind of feel like that's the part that people kind of miss. Shelly goes on to say, well, Vanna, you said I was standoffish too. And Vanna was like, yeah, but they didn't show the good stuff. They asked me a question real quick and cut it off, but I cleared this up on my live. Shelly and Alandra said ain't shit getting by us tonight. Alandra said that Huda played into the bully narrative as well. Huda's eyes immediately got red. Immediately. She immediately wants to cry. Is this being bullied, Huda? Are you being bullied now? Because you're getting called out? Okay. Zach K spoke. Who cares? Who cares? He gets called out for saying that Brian got with Amaya for the money. Zach, you were trying to get with her for the money too. So whatever. Austin won't answer what happened with him and Jaden. It was weird. I don't know if Austin was high or if he thought acting like this was cute. It wasn't. I think you made a fool of yourself. Jaden said that she expected transparency. So apparently they came out as a couple, as a pairing, we'll say. They came out as a pairing. Jaden told him, look, if you want to fuck around and see other girls, that's cool. Just don't play in my face. Just let me know. He didn't do that. He didn't do that. He chose to blindside her and then started to talk like a whole weirdo about like he didn't know what was going on. Pepe is asked about finding out that Huda is the one that asked a question about not liking Grayson during the Stand on Business challenge because for whatever reason Huda asked the question and then didn't want to own up to it. Pepe said that it was more of a dig on Grayson and not on him, which wasn't cool. Grayson said that she was initially upset with Huda for not standing on business, but then said that she felt like everybody in that villa played in her face because y'all all knew that he didn't like me that much. But y'all would tell me that it's good. Y'all told me that y'all believed in the connection. And then, come to find out, everybody felt a different way about it. I don't think that was right with Grayson either. That means that you ain't have not a friend in there, girl. Not a friend. Hood apologized and said that she didn't mean for that to hurt that bad, but it did. I think that Huda is a person that feels that just because she says sorry and she's moved on from him, that everybody else should. Grayson ultimately wishes that Pepe were more honest and feels like he played her. He tries to, what is going on with his hair in the back? Oh my God. Cut your hair down. Cause this shit, whatever it was doing, no. But Pepe tried to make it seem as if he didn't play in her face. You did. And Grayson said, because you were going around telling people you were 100% in on me, so I was 100% in on you, when in reality you really weren't. So Pepe finally has to concede and say, you know what? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that to you. Coco said that Ace was a sweetheart, but she does wish that he was more upfront. If he was sure that he knew he wanted to be with Shelly, then he should have just told her and been more direct with her, and she could have gotten the opportunity to try to get to know someone else. And Ace was like, I just wanted to get to know you as a person. I will say this. I think that it does seem a little bit like Ace did lead Coco on. It did. Because we knew that Ace was going to go back to Shelly, right? We knew that. But Ace was really talking to Coco like he was going to give her an honest chance, when that was really just a part of this game that they were playing, explore, instead of just being real with her about it. And y'all could have ended up just being cool. But Coco says she was okay with it. They might throw Coco on Love Island games. They said some of the cast on that couch is going. I hope it's not the annoying people. That's all I'm going to say. Huda gets asked about her saying that she brought Chris back for the both of them, for her and Shelly coming back from Casa. Huda said once again, I didn't have a connection in Casa, but I brought Chris back for the both of them. For the both of us. Shelly said that's the easy summary. Huda said, look, this is what Shelly said. Huda said, I don't have anyone in here. I can bring Chris back for you so you can explore him, but I can talk to him too. But this is for you. So we get played the extended clip of that scene. Both of them were correct, right? Huda did say, I am going to bring him back for you, but I want to get to know him as well. But he's for you. Shelly said that this clip is not the full scope of everything that happened, and they had this conversation a couple of times. So when we watch the clip, we do see Huda positioning this as more so for Shelly than anything else, right? We did. Huda didn't have a connection because she was with that man with the big ass teeth. You're dominant. She was with his ass. And then he was weird. So, So she went and sought out Chris, who she knew liked Shelly. They were vibing. So she approached Shelly and said, hey, I don't have a connection. I'm thinking about bringing Chris back because Chris has expressed that he liked me because you went into whatever. But they both were right. The difference is, the nuance is, Shelly was visibly uncomfortable with this proposition and didn't want to do it. And what Shelly should have said was, I don't know. So it either gave that Shelly really didn't want Chris to stay in the villa. She didn't want Chris to come back from Casa, or she wasn't okay with the positioning that we're going to share this connection. But it's very, very clear watching that clip that Shelly wasn't really okay with it, and Shelly should have spoke up. But Huda These are supposed to be your friends. Why would you be moving in on my connection? Just whatever. Whatever. Shelly points out they had another conversation where Sierra was involved, but conveniently, Huda doesn't remember. Huda said, well, like, I've moved on from this. This is old news to me. And you should really be focused on your relationship. No. No. No, 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 no. We are at the reunion to hash things out. We are at the reunion to get to the root of things. I can focus on my fucking relationship while still pointing out how shitty of a person you are. I can still do that. Maybe if you would have focused on friendship, maybe if you would have focused on being a decent human being, maybe if you would have focused on not being a weird ass bitch Huda, then you wouldn't be in the situation that you're in now with all these people.
You're a Huda hater.
The audacity, the gall, the temerity, the nerve, the gall and the gumption of you to tell her to focus on her relationship when we're having a whole conversation about some shit. Like, what the fuck is wrong with Huda? Shelly said this was not a misunderstanding. We were cool until you went on that podcast and added fuel to a lot of the fires. Now you want us to focus on other shit. No, we're going to focus on you. That's what we're going to focus on, Huda. Hannah and Charlie come out. I don't care. Do y'all think this is when Taylor took his shoes off? Did y'all see that picture? And he got his toes just up, like, why were your shoes off? Y'all think, because I was trying to look at the positioning, y'all think it was during this scene? I don't care about this. I don't care about Hannah. I don't care about Charlie or TJ. I don't. TJ said he's happy for Iris and Pepe. Awesome. So they talk about Charlie getting voted off. I don't care. I don't care. They show the full deliberation on why Hannah was sent home. So Shelly in this exploring bullshit, it's really the same reasoning that they gave on the show. Okay. I did holler when they were like, we're going to count down from 10, 3, 2, 1. And everybody was like, Hannah. Hannah sees this shit and she's all but a weep. This once again didn't make sense. So in this, Shelly spearheaded this for one, but in this deliberation, Shelly kept saying, well, Hannah, she gets so locked in with people so soon. And what it tells me is that Shelly and Ace were pillow talking or having some conversations that just were not picked up on camera or picked up on mic, where they both agree that we want everybody to explore. Because that is the same reasoning that they sent Jeremiah home, and it just doesn't make sense. And yes, I know that America's votes have both Hannah and Jeremiah down in the bottom, but to say that because Hannah has had 2 connections and she went from liking one person to the next means that she's not exploring enough. It just doesn't make sense. It honestly doesn't make sense. So Bella comes out. Andy was like, coming out on stage, Belle A. Y'all, I screamed. Woo! I screamed because then he was like, sorry, Bella. Lord have mercy. But I don't care about Bella. So Jeremiah finally comes out and we talk pancake gate, okay? Huda won't admit that she overreacted about them pancakes. Jeremiah felt that, what Jeremiah felt like what she was doing was too much, right? So Jeremiah asks Huda, do you know what it means to be love bombed? Do you think I love bombed you by definition? He gives half the definition. Huda was like, yeah, I think you love bombed me. Maybe it wasn't malicious and intentional, but you did. And this Jeremiah said, no. Because on one hand, you said I wasn't doing enough. But then on the other hand, you're saying that I'm doing too much. Make it make sense, because this is not making sense. You were also the one that was going all up and through the villa telling me that you loved me over and over and over and over. And I think Huda's was malicious. And I think Huda's was with full intent to manipulate. So Jeremiah asked Ace, does that make sense to you? Tater Tot? Tater Tot, does that make sense to you? And Ace was like, look, there was no ill intent towards you and Huda. Ace said that, based on some of the comments that he heard, he felt that Jeremiah was talking too much about money and about followers. So I'll say this. I'll say this. Did we see some conversations of Jeremiah talking about money and winning and stuff like that? Yes. But Ace is already an established influencer. So Ace isn't going to be talking about followers and stuff like that. He already has that type of status. So for Ace to look down on these people, I think it's weird. I think it's weird. Ace has what, 1 million followers or something. He's been on the Jennifer Hudson show. He's big on TikTok. Like, you're already an established influencer. So if these other people are sitting in the villa and they're talking in their downtime about, man, we about to get mad followers from this show, who cares? Who cares? You're only not doing it because you already are at that level. So Jeremiah said that it's dumb for him to put himself through all this stress for $50,000 and to try to get some followers. Nick said, well, I just agree with whatever Ace said. Nick is so performative and annoying to me. It's annoying because why couldn't you seriously answer in this moment? And everybody laughs it off, but shit like that is only funny for so long. Nick is a joke to me. He just is. Austin being high was irritating. He couldn't really answer. He kept saying, I lost my train of thought. Like, nigga, what the fuck? Jeremiah said that he didn't love bomb. He just likes people too much. Said that there were 2 different squads in the villa, but it wasn't animosity driven. Nick said what we didn't see is that he thought that Austin should have been sent home instead of Jeremiah. So we get this full clip of deliberations. Taylor sounded stupid AF, saying that because Jeremiah wanted to talk to Andrina when America put him with Iris was him not doing Love Island the right way. What is the right way? I really wish that Andy and Ari would have asked Ace, Taylor, and Shelly, what is the right way to do Love Island? Because y'all seem to think that y'all know the end all and be all. Y'all seem to think that by season 7 of US, when there's 12 seasons of UK, and there's all these other seasons of these other countries, y'all feel that y'all know what is the right way to do Love Island. It wasn't the shit that y'all did this season. It wasn't. It just wasn't. In the deliberations, we do see that Nick was trying to save Jeremiah and felt that Jeremiah has a connection with Andrina. So why would we be sending him home? And he felt that Austin, who did not have a connection, should have been sent home. Ace and Taylor had already made up their mind, and I think it's because they saw Jeremiah as a threat to being a winner. And that's why neither one of y'all asses won. Y'all sabotaged yourselves. Ace gets asked about being the ringleader. He gets all defensive because Ace is like full of like tater tot rage. Like, I don't understand why he gets so angry about stuff. Why are you mad that you were called the ringleader? Is ringleader a negative connotation? Sure. But you were the leader, Ace. You were very vocal. You were very vocal. You did sway the way that a lot of people were moving in that villa, whether you want to admit it or not. Charlie said that Ace was always asking people who they were going to talk to, but he never gave out as much information. So it seemed like Ace was going around trying to clock people and make sure that everybody was talking to different people every day, but didn't want to tell everybody what they were doing. Jeremiah said Ace was the ringleader and the antagonist. Austin said ringleader is a weird way to put it. But yeah, Ace was kind of leading everything. He was leading a lot of stuff, and Ace knows it. Ace is only not okay with that connotation now because the audience was not okay with it. But if it would have been everybody saying, yeah, Ace was in there leading stuff, and Ace was this, and Ace was doing that, Ace would not have a problem with being called the ringleader. Ace said that we are all grown-ass men in here and grown-ass adults. Ace just has a lot of rah-rah shish kumbaya for Austin, and I don't understand the problem. And I think the biggest issue is that Austin didn't just go along with whatever Ace wanted them to do. And I think that is Ace's problem with Austin. Ace does now regret sending Jeremiah home because you knew that you were doing it out of pure hater mode. Hannah and Jeremiah were in the bottom of the votes from America anyways. So then Alandria was like, we got hate when we did what America wanted us to do anyways. Girl, shut up. Y'all got hate because y'all reasoning didn't make sense. Y'all reasoning didn't make sense. Ace addresses Amaya for talking about his height on a interview TikTok with Call Me Daddy. Like, Alex, girl, you seem a little problematic. Tater tot, please. Like you, tater tot, please. Tater tot, please. Amaya said, I've reached out to you about that, and I talked to you about that, and I told you that my team was trying to get that taken down. Aston said, it hurts when people people don't have my back. You guys, when we were in the villa together, you guys don't have my back. Ace, you didn't have a lot of people's back in the villa, so what did you expect? Ace, you created this environment. You created this environment, this toxic bubble that all of y'all are in. You were the ringleader in that. Whether you want to admit it or not, baby, you are the root of this. Then we get a Huda package where we see all the moments that confirm for us that she is not a girl's girl and how much of a miserable bitch she is, okay? So while they're showing all of Huda's worst moments, she's laughing. She's cracking up, not even embarrassed. No shame, no nothing. Huda said that she has done self-reflection so that she can look back at these moments and laugh. Andy says, so it's been a month? You did a month of self-reflection and you're a different person? Huda said, well, yeah. I mean, there are things that I'm not proud of, you know? Like what? Well, the cursing, the name calling. And this is where I feel like Andy dropped the ball. Because we should have had a conversation on why Huda called every single bombshell that came into there a bitch for no reason. We should have had a conversation on why she was so possessive over Jeremiah. We should have had a conversation on how she was calling Jeremiah a bitch and a P word and all this other type of stuff. We should have had conversations about that, but we didn't for some reason. Andy said, Huda, you said you were bullied. As a viewer, I did not get it because it didn't happen, Andrew. It didn't happen. Huda said that she saw the clips of Huda said she saw the clips when she got out that made her, kind of feel like she was bullied. Like, here's the thing. Huda can't even clearly say why she felt she was bullied. Give an example. Then she was like, the commentary about how she was talking about Iris, she just kind of felt bullied by that. What? So, when they were all sitting, remember when Huda was in the little gym, right? She was working out. And it was Sierra, Nick, Shelly, Taylor, and Alandria sitting to the side. And they were saying how, man, Huda's doing too much. She gets so worked up. She gets so this, so that, whatever the case. Like, that shit is crazy. About how she was calling Iris every name under the sun for doing what she was supposed to do in the challenge. Huda felt bullied by that. Like, come on. Shelly said that they all showed up for her and they were there for her. Huda said, well, they didn't bully her and maybe I just used the wrong word, but I've moved on. Shelly said, look, if you felt bullied, I apologize for that. I apologize for that because that was never my intent. Ari then asked Huda, why didn't you lean on Alandria since y'all were supposedly such good friends? Huda said, after the Stand on Business challenge, I'm a mom and I didn't know who else to talk to. You know what I mean? Like, because when you're a mom, Amani. And it's like Huda, like, here's the thing. Huda's getting called out and she doesn't know how to deal with it because you know you weren't bullied. You know you weren't bullied. Huda, you said that to appease your fans. You weren't bullied. You know you weren't bullied. And Alandria said, listen, after the villa, she saw all the hate that she got from her fans. Huda's fans. She asked Huda to speak out to her fans about the racism. Huda said she would, but never fucking did it. Fuck you. Fuck you. The shit that Shelly and Alandria were dealing with was absolutely ridiculous. Because of your fans, Huda. Because of your fans. It wasn't anybody else's fans. It was yours. It was the Hoodanators that was out doing it. Huda was like, well, I mean, I made a statement about bullies, but you didn't say who it was. So you allowed your fan base to believe that Shelly and Alandria were bullying you. Tasty, BuzzFeed, so they were going to give Shelly a knuckle sandwich. We saw so many memes, so many GIFs, so many videos of these people being blatantly racist in your name, and you had nothing to say about it. You fed into the hate, and you know you did, Huda. So now you want to pussy popping backpedal about this bullshit, and it's too late now. Huda said in the interview that she addressed the hate and the bullying, you did not say stop the racism, stop the bullshit against Shelly and Alandria. You didn't do that. You went into that interview and said that you were bullied, which you knew was a dog whistle up to your little rabbit-ass fans. You knew what the fuck you were doing, Huda. Shelly said, but you didn't put a name on it. You didn't put a name on it, and now, here in this venue, you are now saying that I bullied you. Like, that's how manipulative and conniving Huda is. You just said that Shelly was bullying you when you know she wasn't. You just put a name on it. Huda then said, well, I say things on emotion. And I should have addressed you, Shelly, directly. Yeah. I'm sorry. Like, Huda is saying that she's sorry while smiling, and I was glad that Shelly clocked it and said, well, you'll say you're sorry, and then you'll do some other bullshit. Then you'll say you're sorry, but then you'll be shady some other way. Like, I appreciate your apology, not accept, but appreciate, but it's always an up and down with you. Huda said, well, I was dealing with a lot too. I was dealing with so much. I came out to millions of people condoning and hyping me up, like telling me that I'm the baddest bitch and all this other type of stuff. How can I say something to my fan? You wanted me to go against my fan base? That's really what it was. Alandria said all you had to do was address the racism. All you had to do was address the racism. Huda said I was attacked too. Fuck the whataboutism. Fuck it. Alandria's face was put on George Floyd's body. The same visual of that man having a fucking knee pressed to his neck and being suffocated to death while he screamed out for his mama. And you think that's okay because I got racism too? Fuck you, Huda. I'm sorry. That is absolute bullshit. And whoever is the person that did that, it's something really fucking wrong with you. And even now, in this moment, Huda still did not take the opportunity, the time, the space to address her fans and say, stop the racism. Stop the racism. Stop the racism. Don't do it in my name. Stop the racism against Shelly and Alandria. I don't have a problem with them, so y'all shouldn't have a problem with them either. You didn't do that. You didn't do that. Talking about I was on the podcast and I said I don't like racism and bullying either. No, put a name on it, ho. The same way that you can sit up here and say that Shelly is bullying you now, you could tell your stupid ass fans to stop that bullshit, and you didn't. And you didn't. Shelly says she don't want to be friends with her, with Huda. Wishes her well from a distance, but she can't trust her, as she shouldn't. Alandria said that her Huda not issuing a post, not issuing a statement, telling her fans to stop was the turning point for her. She can't fuck with her either. Still, it is now almost 6 o'clock in the morning Central Time. Huda has not put out a statement about bullying, about the racism, but Huda did issue a statement, calling for people to stop saying something about her. We talked to Heart Rate Challenge. Shelly said the whole performance was Huda crossing a line. So we get to see the full thing. Huda licked Ace's dick and then put her face in his ass after gyrating on this man and simulating sex and having soft corn. That's basically what it was. Huda did do too much. Huda said she apologizes if I made anyone uncomfortable, but said, it was a challenge and there were no limitations. Everything was as a mom, I made sure it was consensual. Shelly still doesn't believe she overreacted. Said it's not even about having limitations and boundaries. It's about friendship and sisterhood. You do these challenges with the intent to show certain people that you like them, which is true. The Heart Rate Challenge comes so far into the season that people are typically in couples. This season, y'all were really paired up by this point. So for you to do that with somebody that you claim to not even really like that, it was too much. Taylor said it was too far. Nick said it was too far. Andy asked Huda what she would have done if Shelly did that to Jeremiah. Huda sidestepped that question and was like, well, I mean, she was kissing on Chris. I didn't care. Her other connection? We then find out that the yelling that we heard in the confessional during Alandria's confessional was not Sierra being ripped from the villa. It was Huda and Iris being annoying and like screaming, singing in like the shower area. I'm glad this season is done. I'm not talking about shit else from this season. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video. I have to get to work. I will catch you guys for something later. Peace.